Have you ever really stopped to think about the words you use every single day? I mean, not just what they mean, but where did they even come from? It's wild to think about, but every word we speak is kind of like a tiny artifact, right? It's packed with this hidden history just waiting for us to dig it up.
Okay, let's take a word we all know, education. We use it all the time, right? But what does it actually mean? Like really mean? Is it just about, filling an empty mind with a bunch of facts? Or is there something deeper? Something we might have lost along the way?
Well, get this. Its origin tells a completely different story. The word actually comes from the Latin educare, which means to draw out. Just think about that for a second. The whole original idea wasn't to cram information in, but to draw out the potential that's already inside a person. That one little piece of information, man, it changes everything, doesn't it?
And education is just the start of it. It's really the perfect example of this much bigger idea, that so many words we use have these amazing, surprising backstories just hiding in plain sight. I mean, every single word has been on this incredible journey for thousands of years. They've crossed continents, they've evolved with entire cultures. These words have been passed down from ancient Greek temples and busy Roman streets all the way to you and me right now. And they carry these little echoes of history with them.
So the big question is, how do we actually uncover these stories? Well, we've got a couple of key tools. We look at the word's root, and we look at its etymology, which is really just a fancy way of saying we study where the word came from. It's how we peek inside a word to see what makes it tick.
Okay, so what's a root word? Think of it like the fundamental building block. It's the absolute core of a word, the part that holds its essential meaning. You can stick prefixes and suffixes on it, beginnings and endings, but that central piece, that root, it always stays the same. Here's a really cool way to think about it. Root words are basically the DNA of language. Seriously, they hold the genetic code, if you will, that determines what a word means, and it connects it to this whole family tree of other related words. So, where do we get these building blocks? Well, for the English language, most of them can be traced back to two ancient powerhouses, Greek and Latin.
Let's look at a few examples. So you've got the Latin root port, which means carry. That gives us words like transport, to carry across, and export, to carry out. Makes sense, right? Or spect, another one from Latin, which means see. So you get inspect, to look into, or a spectacle, something you see. Then there's the Greek root graph, meaning write, which you see in autograph, to write your own name. And aud from Latin means hear, which is the core of audio and audience, the people who hear. You can totally see how one simple root just sprouts this whole family of words.
And what's really cool is we can even build our own words with these pieces. Check this out. Take the Greek root tele, which means far. Now let's combine it with graph, which we just learned means write. What do you get? Telegraph. It literally means to write from far away. It's just like linguistic Legos. You just snap the pieces together. Okay, let's do one more, quick. Bio, that's Greek for life. Add it to graph, to write, and boom, you get biography. The story of a written life. See? Once you start to see these patterns, I'm telling you, you'll start seeing them everywhere. So yeah, these roots, they're not just some abstract idea from a textbook. They are actual historical artifacts that have traveled through time to get to us. And the amazing part is we can actually trace that journey. All right, so this journey kicks off way back in ancient Greece, which gave us a ton of our words for science and philosophy. Think geo and chrono. Then the Roman Empire comes along and spreads Latin roots like port and scrib all over Europe. But here's a huge turning point. 1066, the Norman conquest of England happens, and that injects this massive dose of Latin-based French right into the English language. And fast forward to today, and literally thousands of those ancient roots are still alive and kicking in the words we use every single day. So when you start looking at words this way, you realize something pretty profound. They're not just tools for communication. They're not static. They are truly pieces of living history. And this quote just sums it up perfectly. To use a word without its story is to see the tree, but miss the roots. It's like admiring this big, beautiful tree while having no idea about the incredible root system that's giving it all its life. And that, right there, is why this all matters. Understanding where a word comes from isn't just some neat vocabulary trick. No, it's a way for you to connect directly with the ancient cultures, the big scientific discoveries, and the powerful philosophies that literally shape the world we live in and the way we think. See, every word has a story, and that includes the words we use for ourselves. So I'm going to leave you with one final question to think about. What story is your own name hiding?